out there and have fun with each other and also do our job. So yeah, it's very fun to go out there and play with that defense.
Fires inside, incomplete.
I knew this conversation was coming. Emmanuel Forbes is balling out. Did the Washington Commanders move on from the young cornerback prematurely? Let's talk about it.
Shout out to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. You know what it is.
Shout out Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
Stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard. Love it when she back goes, then she bring it back slow. I love the way she rock it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she clap her hips, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident.
What's up, y'all? It's your man Juan Gotti here, and today we're going to talk about Emmanuel Forbes because it seems like the young fella has found his footing in LA. And as you can imagine, here in Washington country, on Twitter, on Instagram, fans are going crazy. Did Washington regret leaving him or moving on from this? Washington regret not keeping him around? And for me personally, we all wanted Emmanuel Forbes gone. We're not going to sit up here and act now that he's having success that 98.5% of the fan base ain't want him gone. There was that smidge of percentage of fans that wanted him to stay. And if you was a part of that crew, hats off to you. Hats off to you. I think my guy, I haven't seen his name on the channel in a long time, but I think my guy Jalen's dad was one of them that wanted Forbes to stay or felt like Forbes wasn't the biggest issue. And looking back at his time here in Washington, we can clearly just say the last regime ruined him. They ruined him, man. They truly did. And taking a step further for fans not wanting Emmanuel Forbes, when we were sitting at 16 that draft, like Christian Gonzalez was the pound for pound best cornerback in that draft class. And to this day, he's still one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And we had an opportunity to take him, but instead we took Emmanuel Forbes because he led the SEC in turnovers. Emmanuel Forbes got here to Washington, and you can immediately see this was not the perfect fit for him. When you get drafted in the first round, that's not by accident. You don't just get drafted in the first round because your name is on the board and they put your name in a hat and they just shook it up and said, oh, Emmanuel Forbes. Name, I pick him with 16. No, he gets picked in the first round because he had talent at Mississippi State. The biggest thing with Emmanuel Forbes is he's with a team that believes in him. A team that believes in him, shows him faith, say, hey, young fella, I'm riding with you right or wrong. You can do this. He never had that in Washington. Never. Going back to the regime that drafted him, Ron Rivera, for all you can say about him banging the table for Emmanuel Forbes on draft night. Remember the audio clip or the video clip that came out prior to the draft? If Forbes is there, we gotta take him. That's what Ron said. Regardless of that video being out, his action did not match his words because he never spoke highly of Forbes after he started to have his struggles. He, in fact, benched Emmanuel Forbes after having his struggles. And again, I don't want to sit up here and act as if they were wrong for it.
Before we get any further into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. If you're trying to go to a game, concert, or any live event, SeatGeek is the place to go. I actually got my tickets for week 1 against the New York Giants using SeatGeek, and honestly, I use it for all my event purchases. What I love about SeatGeek is how simple it is to find the best deals. They rate every seat on a scale from green to red. Green means you're getting a great deal. Red means it's a little overpriced. That way you know you're buying with confidence and getting your money's worth. Plus, they even offer protection ticket plans so you don't have to worry about your tickets getting lost or stolen. And the best part about it all is they're hooking y'all up with the code. Use Juan Gotti at checkout and you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Again, use code Juan Gotti at checkout to get 10% off your first purchase.
But again, you can't be upset at a player for being trash or not good when the biggest thing that you need in life is confidence. The biggest thing that you need in life is someone to speak highly of. How would you feel if you're at your job and you could be having a good day, you could be having a bad day, but that one person, that one boss, that one manager, that one coworker takes 2 seconds out their day, say, hey, you doing a good job, man. Hey, I believe in you, man. You whatever you are putting together for us or whatever, a part of the plan, I'm rocking with it, man. That's gonna make you feel good. That's gonna make you want to continue to strive. It's gonna make you want to continue to play or be a part of that team. He mentally just got beat up, and he couldn't handle it. Right? Whether it's the coaching staff, whether it's the fans on Twitter. Again, we all were killing him. So I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I was just a Forbes fan through and through. No. We all were killing him at times. But here's my thing: do we regret letting go of Emmanuel Forbes? I wouldn't say regret, because the same regime that drafted him isn't here. Had we still had Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, or I'll take a step further and say had Dan Quinn and Adam Peters drafted him and then moved on from him, and they still were here, and we were still having the quarterback struggles that we're having to this day, yes, you can say we should regret moving on from him. They probably pulled the trigger too early. But you gotta realize, Adam Peters and Dan Quinn did not draft Emmanuel Forbes. So he already was on a short leash. He already had a bad rookie year. A.J. Brown's son. He mentally couldn't handle being the cornerback one. You can clearly see that he was frustrated at times. You can clearly see he was not playing with the swagger that got him drafted at 16. You can clearly see that. And then his last year here in Washington, he was struggling as well. But why all of a sudden the tangibles that got him drafted at 16, why are they being put on show now? Because he's playing for an organization that believes in him. He's playing with an organization that is going to allow him to go out there and play his game and be free. Emmanuel Forbes still looks the same. 170 soaking wet. But he's putting people on their ass. He's playing with the physicality. Man, this dude is balling, He is bro, your last night versus the Bucks, pass break up. The very next play, they sent him on a DB blitz. He got there. He's been playing crazy. And again, that's where I say the talent was always there. You don't get drafted in the first round if you're not talented. But talent ain't everything. It's about what's around you. And again, the Rams have shown you to be an organization that revives career. Look at Baker Mayfield. Prior to the game, I know the game was horrible for him last night, but prior to the game in a pregame, he said, man, I love this place, or this place is the one that made me like football again. Made me love football again. Right? We know how Baker's turnaround went. Emmanuel Forbes, his career's turnaround. Devontae Adams said, this is the most fun that I'm having in my football career ever. This man played with Aaron Rodgers. LA is just a different breed. That's just an organization. Les Snead, Sean McVay, all those guys. Like, that's just a different organization. That's a different standard. They're a gold standard in this league. And sometimes players like Emmanuel Forbes needs that. Does he have the same success if he went from one organization like Washington to another organization, let's just say, I don't know, Tennessee? Probably not. Probably not. But he went to an organization that again, put that dog in him, put that fire in him, and it helps. When you got familiar faces around you, i.e. Cam Curl, who we'll talk about here in a second. Talking about a guy that you should regret losing. Now, they had control over this one. I'm talking about Cameron Curl. Now, you can't necessarily 100% blame them because he's a free agent from the last regime. All they had to do was let him walk. They did not owe him any loyalty, anything like that. But that's the one player where I say you couldn't have cut on the film and you didn't value what you saw out of him to say, hey, he can fit in our defense. Really? Like, if I look back at all the moves, all the players that we let walk, all the players that we didn't re-sign, that's the one where I'm still to this day like, really? You let Cam Curl walk for this? Hindsight, Jeremy Chin wasn't horrible, but he wasn't Cam Curl. Quan Martin, you could have had Cam Curl. You know? And I get Quan would have been free, maybe Cam would have been strong, but Cam is a dog. We always loved Cam here. Every single fan loved 31. Now 3, but we all loved Cam. And it was so hard for me to stomach the fact that I had to be let known. Mind you, I was away during this free agency, obviously. I had to be told, yeah, we ain't bring back Cam. I said, what? And look what he doing in LA. Hooping. Chris Collinsworth said that he's the best tackling safety in the NFL. I know, Chris. I know. You don't got to tell me. I saw it up close and personal for 4 years when nobody was trying to give my guy his respect. We saw it. We rocked with Cam, bro. Cam was like the only guy on this defense that really played with that swagger, that played with that dog. Like, he played with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it does not surprise me that it's translating in LA. And you know what else helps him and helps Emmanuel Forbes as well? The roster around him is also a huge reason as to why Emmanuel Forbes is successful in Cam Curl. I mean, we're talking about Quentin Lake, even though he didn't play last night. Quentin Lake, Darius Williams, right? Kobe Durant, Braden Fish, Jared Verse, Byron Young, like, and their linebacker, I forget his name, I forget his name, but he just got paid yesterday, and he had to play last night as well. Like, that roster is amazing, and what separates them from us and other organizations that aren't able to find those kind of players right now is their front office, their general manager knows how to draft. They did not have a first-round pick for a couple of seasons. All they draft picks are mid to late round draft picks for the most part. They recently just got a first-round pick, obviously, the last couple of years, but prior to, they didn't have that. And they still were able to find dogs. So, I'm happy for Emmanuel Forbes. Like, typically, you could be a little salty, like, this guy, he didn't pan out of Washington, but he went somewhere else, now he playing his ass off. I'm genuinely happy for him because, one, again, this organization didn't owe him no loyalty, so I can't hold this organization accountable. Now, Ron Vergan, if he was still here, I could probably hold him accountable, like, hey, this is your guy, and you let him go like that. But I can't really hold this front office too much accountable for, because that's not, that wasn't his guy, and he already was on a short leash. He was on a short leash after Ron, like halfway through his rookie year with Ron Rivera. The people that drafted him, Jack Del Rio, didn't even want to play him anymore. So I can't put no blame on DQ for an AP for not playing him much. They gave him an opportunity and he just continued to play bad. So sometimes you just need a change of scenery, and that's all Emmanuel Forbes clearly needed. A change of scenery, a restart, a refresh, organization that believe in him, players around him that are also dogs. Like he's just in the perfect situation, man. And so he's able to play free. He's able to be good and show them first round talents, man. And I wish it worked out here. You feel me? Like, of course. I don't want you. Do you understand how bad Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio and Martin Mayhew and Marty Herney, you know how bad they set us back? Like, none of our first round picks panned out. Do you understand how bad that is? First of all, God, Dan Snyder made this man the head coach and the general manager. I'm sorry, I'm having flashbacks, but or PTSD, I should say. Like, this man put him in full control, and look at our we have nobody. So hindsight again, I'm not trying to give Adam Peters, the most beneficial, dare I say, grace ever, because he made some mistakes, right? There's some like Johnny Newton, maybe, yeah, could have went out and got Kendrick Bourne. Like, he's made some many mistakes. Ben said it may not be what we thought, but they were literally starting from zero. They had nobody to build on from. Do you understand who Chase Young was supposed to be for this team? He's supposed to be here right now. He's supposed to be one of the best pass rushers in the NFL right now. That's supposed to be a building block piece that we're supposed to be able to build on. Jamin Davis, I mean, we all knew that was a reach. We were excited about the athletic potential, but come on, Ron. Your first round pick 2021, Jamin Davis. I know you needed a linebacker, but damn. Right? 2022, you get Jahan Dotson. We all knew we wanted a receiver and needed a wide receiver too, but you trade back when you were in a spot to get potentially Chris Olave, who's a dog. I know he's had injury history, but a dog. Jameson Williams, I know he was fresh off a tearing his ACL in college. But we knew he had the potential to be a dog. Look what he is, and look what he would have been for this organization. Right? I think George Pickens was a second-round pick that year. Like, essentially what I'm saying is he set us back. We had nobody to build off from. Like DQ and AP had nobody to build off from. Nobody that they could truly carry over from the last regime that was a young up-and-coming talent draft pick and say, hey, we can build around this guy. So, again, it doesn't surprise me that Emmanuel Forbes has figured it out. It doesn't surprise me that that organization is the perfect fit for him, because look at what he went into. A team that was already good, and all he needed to do was play his game and be believed in. He's balling. Again, Cam Curl's the only guy I look into this camera and say they should probably regret letting go, because they had an opportunity to re-sign him. They just said nah. And I never wanted Cam Curl to go. I always thought he was a beast. I always thought Cam Curl was a Washington Commander. But I digress, man. It ain't nothing I can say about it now. Heads off to Forbes. Happy for him. Happy for Cam Curl. Happy for my former Commander guys to ball out. Wish it was here, but hey, one day we'll get right, guys. One day. That being said, let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comment section. As always, be boy one guy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel on the road to 12,000 subscribers. We greatly appreciate it if you reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Never gave a bomb, ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a laundry.